welcome to another video. Today we're talking about something a bit different, something that isn't Doctor Who related for a change, unusual on this channel. But this video has come about because someone asked Catherine on your recent vlog, what did we think about the recent trailers, is that right? That were shown at San Diego Comic Con. So as many of you will know, we're both fans of DC Comics and Marvel Comics. You're more of a DC fan, aren't you? What was that?
Sorry, I just dropped some Crave on the floor.
Okay.
Cereal, I like it a lot.
Yeah, so...
the question was only in regards to the comic book films that are going to be released.
Yeah. So, yes, we thought we'd do this little video and just say what we thought about said trailers. So, to start the ball rolling, we're going to talk about Deadpool.
Deadpool, yes.
Now, that actually hasn't been officially released yet, the trailer. That's only been leaked onto the internet. We are still awaiting a trailer coming from that, hopefully soon. Ryan Reynolds did tweet that it should be about 3 weeks. I don't know how long ago that was. That was probably about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I reckon it was about two weeks ago, 2.5 weeks, something like that. I reckon we're getting close to the 3 week mark, if we haven't already.
Right, so what did we think about this trailer? There were two versions, weren't there? One was slightly better quality. Unfortunately, we couldn't find that when we were trying to do this.
Because obviously they've all been taken down. Well, obviously, I am a huge Deadpool fan, and Matt will tell you that. I've always loved Deadpool, haven't I? I mean, obviously Matt is a fan as well, but Deadpool is one of my favourite Marvel characters. I absolutely love Deadpool. I was a huge fan even in my early teens. I absolutely loved him. So we were both very excited to hear this film was actually getting made, weren't we?
Yeah, after such a long time of it being stuck in development hell, and that awful appearance from Deadpool in that Wolverine film, that shit Wolverine film.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, good choice. You said you were dubious. I always liked the idea of Ryan Reynolds for the role. I couldn't imagine anyone else playing it. What were you dubious about? You're just not keen on Ryan Reynolds, aren't you? It was after Green Lantern you were dubious as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I just couldn't really see it. No, I
always liked Ryan Reynolds, and I liked the Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. I'm pretty sure they have done the script, haven't they?
Zombieland people.
Yeah.
They've done the script.
Yeah, when I found out
who's directing it though.
I don't either. When I found out they were penning the script, I was very excited because the script for Zombieland is, if you've seen it, it's wonderful. So, I mean, we knew that quite early on.
Yeah. The film is from the leaked trailer. There's lots of effing and lots of violence and lots of blood.
Some wonderful lines.
Some hilarious one-liners. I think they've got Deadpool's character down to a T, really.
Yeah, he's perfect. And they do break the fourth wall. Not seen any little yellow boxes yet.
No, I haven't seen that.
Not seen any. I don't know if they're keeping that for the film, or if they might only do it once or twice as a reference. Or
maybe
into that. But
it's a shame because it would be quite funny.
Yeah, it would.
But maybe they thought it would be a bit too obtrusive. I guess the thing is that all the scenes that we've seen so far are quite high action.
Yeah, and they also look like stuff that was probably shot early on.
Yeah, it was some of the earliest stuff that they shot.
So if you don't know the comics, Deadpool has two of his conscious minds sort of. Like one of his more animalistic kind of voices in his head, and then he's got his kind of higher conscience, and they argue with each other, and then they argue with him, and they kind of pop up everywhere.
Which is really fun.
It's just wonderful. What was it? And Stanley's cameo is just
hilarious.
Beautiful. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, we shouldn't give it away, should we?
No,
we won't give it away, but his cameos in the trailer is very funny. We've got some lovely lines in it. Big chrome cock gobbler is probably
Colossus makes an appearance, not played by the same chap
no.
from the other X-Men films, but he probably looks more like the Colossus in the comics in this film than he has.
He looks bigger, doesn't
he? He looks bigger, yeah, and he just the shape of his face and stuff. It was all motion capture stuff.
Yeah.
So
and there's quite a lovely, because if you don't, I mean, I don't think Ryan Reynolds looks as scarred as he should. Yeah,
that's my sort of main criticism so far is Ryan Reynolds doesn't look horrible enough in his face.
Needs to look more gnarly. And the thing is, in the comics, him in his gnarly form, it comes out quite a lot. It's not like you rarely see it. You see him a lot in the comics like that.
Just like in his pants.
And his pants are like dressed up in like Hawaiian shorts and going out with a cap on and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's some funny bits in it. There's lots of violence. He gets shot in the arm at one point and you look through it.
I mean, and there's lots of high skill stuff, which is what he's good at.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see. hard to kind of pin down. They didn't get anything with the character wrong. There's nothing about the character that I don't like so far.
Not that we can see at the moment. Yeah, so that looks very good.
Yeah, we're both relatively pleased with that, aren't we?
Yeah, so I guess we'll be able to talk about that more maybe when the actual trailer comes out, because obviously we'll be able to see it better. Just trying to think if there's anything else that we haven't mentioned about it. Nice little nod to Green Lantern, which I didn't pick up.
Yeah, with the suit. Keep an eye out for that.
Yes, that's sort of really about.
Yeah. Also, we've got his backstory, which I'm not sure. With with his partner and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't actually expecting. I wasn't expecting them to put too much of that in it.
Yeah, I guess they.
Yeah, I hope there isn't. I hope there isn't too much of that in it.
Yeah, I hope not too. Yeah.
It's sad that we may never see a Bob though.
Yeah,
we probably won't ever see a Bob, but I'd have loved to have seen Bob.
Hydra is owned by Marvel.
Yeah, well, indeed it is.
Marvel Studios in terms of film.
Bob would have been beautiful.
Bob would have been great, but we do get Blind Owl, and we have got Weasel. I don't know who's playing Blind Owl. Yeah, and we also have Negasonic Teenage Warhead. She
doesn't look like she does in the comics.
No.
That's all I know, basically, of her. I know the name, I'm not that familiar.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the character. I must have read some X-Men stuff with her in, because
I like...
got so much X-Men.
Yeah, I like the fact that they make a reference to how mental that name is.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Deadpool, the film that we thought would never get made. I think it's been in development for 6 years or maybe longer than that.
I remember being quite a young teenager and actually sending a Deadpool comic to Ryan Reynolds to get it signed.
Did you?
Yeah, before, and obviously I never got anything back, but that was before I even met Matt. That was before.
Oh my God!
Because we went to college together from the age of about 16. We didn't meet until we were 17.
Yeah.
But I did that, I think, even before I started college, or in the early stages of college. So yeah, I was 16 when I did that.
And you never told me this.
And we're 23 now. I completely forgot it even happened. Never got my comic back. It's a shame, isn't it?
It's crap. I guess that's the risk you take doing stuff.
The risk you take is only
especially with a Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit more different if it was a Doctor Who person who's not working. Yeah, so that's Deadpool. That's out next year, next February, so not too long to wait. So
forward to that one.
Very exciting. That was a very quick turnaround in terms of production time. It's only filmed this year. And yeah, it's going to be out in February. So very exciting. So next, we'll talk about Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I don't like the title.
Yeah, it's daft.
Bit shy. You literally just got it Batman v Superman.
Should we start with Superman?
Yeah, right, Superman then.
Okay. Does sound a little bit like when you've got this really snotty little kid, right, on a playground, and he's like, "No, the other kids want to play with me," and the mum's like, "You're too good for them.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, baby." That's what it's a little bit like.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of, when I'm watching that, I'm a little bit sort of irritated. It's just like, I don't like that element. It works. It'll work in the context of the film, but it does have that feel to it, doesn't it? You good boy, this means something.
Yeah.
You don't owe them anything, baby, even though you're killing hundreds of people.
That's Lois Lane who says.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm talking about both of them. They're both doing it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they are. They're both like it. Superman's not really in this trailer very much. I guess there's not really much necessity.
He just kind of walks around going.
Yeah, there's probably not much necessity because we already know Superman from previous films. So, yes, this obviously there's lots of. Everything is building off of all the criticisms that people had with Man of Steel,
which I like.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing that.
I'm so glad they addressed that. That's good.
Because I'll be honest, I wasn't keen on the fact that Superman didn't really save anyone during the Battle of Metropolis. He just sort of.
And then that whole thing happened with General Zod.
Yeah,
and it was there was 3 people in the corner. He was like, "No, I can't let you die."
Yeah.
You've just killed 100 people.
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Yeah, maybe not directly, but
it indirectly caused the deaths of all those people.
It's a bit funny that. I was never bothered by the fact that he broke Zod's neck. That never bothered me at all because it's a film. It's not. It'd be different in the comic.
Appearance-wise, we think as Clark Kent, he looks like a porn star. Or you think he looks like a hipster?
I think he just looks like a hipster.
I think he just looks like a sexy porn boss. That's what it is. It's like, staying late to do work. He does. We only see him once as Clark Kent, don't we? And he just looks really pissed off. He looks like a pissed off hipster porn star.
I think what doesn't help is. I guess we haven't really seen how he plays the seen how he plays Clark Kent. But the thing is, when Christopher Reeve did it, I know it's going to be so easy to compare it.
But the thing is, it's true, and I would normally, because I tease Matt all the time about being a purist.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. Christopher Reeve was a nerdy.
Yeah.
He was meek and he was hunched over. And he didn't look. He didn't look like Superman.
No. You could believe that wasn't Superman. Whereas that, you look at him and you think, well, that's quite clearly Superman wearing glasses. And to make things even worse, they haven't even given him the flicky S.
No,
so
he can't have the S because he's got to be like, sexy.
Yeah, well, there we go. So, that's really it for Superman in that.
Yeah.
The main focus of the trailer is, of course, my favourite character of all time. Well, not all time, but my favourite superhero character is, of course, Batman.
Yeah. And obviously, my favourite DC verse is the Batman universe.
Yeah.
I think the villains in the Batman verse are some of the best villains.
Yeah,
in any comic book.
Yeah.
Ever, and I'm all about the villains more than the heroes. I'm more about the villains, and I love the Batman.
Yeah, arguably Batman has got the best villains of any comic book character.
I don't think anyone could argue that the Joker is the single best villain in comics of all time.
Oh yeah,
I don't think that could be argued. I mean, you're probably going to argue because that's what you do.
Some people will say, well, the Spider-Man villains are better, and Spider-Man does have a lot of good villains.
Oh, it has some good villains. I don't think they've got I don't think they quite rank with.
No, they haven't got the same.
They haven't got
I think the thing with Batman's villains is, and it's going slightly off topic, they're as psychologically damaged as he is, and that gives them so much more depth and makes them more interesting rather than.
Well, what people like that's actually the for that reason is why some people prefer the Marvel villains, because they're brighter, more colourful, and they're more exciting to look at. Whereas the Batman villains are.
It's funny because using Spider-Man as a comparison, because Spider-Man is my favourite Marvel hero. The villains that I like the most from his universe are the psychologically damaged villains. So characters like the Green Goblin and Venom and Carnage. Older Batman this time round with Ben Affleck.
I'm very fond of, and I think you like that as well.
I really like that for a change.
I mean, I was very not struck on Ben Affleck to begin with, as a lot of people weren't.
Yeah, I had no opinion because I haven't really seen him in anything.
I showed Matt some of Dogma, if you've seen Dogma.
Oh yeah, and I did, and after that I thought, I can't see him as Batman.
We've obviously seen Daredevil.
We've seen Gone Girl, didn't we?
People of course, but actually Gone Girl, when I watched Gone Girl...
He's got more of a broodiness. Probably is he's an old...
Yeah, I started thinking, I can kind of see it. The thing with Gone Girl is that the character that he plays is so difficult to get right.
Yeah.
And he got it right. So I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then we saw him in the suit.
Yeah.
And how good does he look?
The Batman suit in this is perfect.
Like when we both saw the picture, we were just like, oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the best he's ever looked on screen.
On screen, yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people are going to say, oh no, I prefer the other film suits, the full black suits. But I think for us, it's just so exciting to actually see.
Someone, it looks like they stepped out of.
Yeah, they've just come off the pages of Frank Miller's.
And he's
Dark Knight Returns.
He's grey, and we don't see that before in that way. And
he's got the shorter, stubbier ears.
You'd like the taller ears, really, wouldn't you?
I prefer the taller ears.
But I don't know. I love the short ears because it makes me feel like I'm reading
that book.
Yeah, I'm reading the book, and I love that. I love everything about it. I just think he looks wonderful, and he's imposing.
Yeah, he's big.
You wouldn't want to take a hit from him.
No. My only criticism is that some angles, I think the suit it might be different in stills compared to actually moving images. But sometimes I look at the suit and I think that it looks a bit almost a bit too bulky. Like he looks a bit a bit fat.
I mean, particularly when he's got the armor on.
Yeah, I mean that's
obviously. That's simply because he's got the armour on.
Yeah, I mean the armour's cool. I like the
armour looks good.
Again, that's straight out of the book.
I mean, there's some wonderful moments between them, isn't there? Just
in the trailer.
The bit where Superman rips off the car doors and Batman just stands up.
Yeah.
That's just really awesome. Cool. It's so cool. I love that.
And he's got that desert suit, hasn't he? He's got the desert suit.
Really cool.
That's now people have been saying that it's like Gotham by gaslight.
And it does
look like that. And that's a really interesting scene because we see him twisting that guy's neck, and lots of people have been saying, "Oh, Christ, Batman's killed a man." I don't think that's necessarily what's going on there. He probably just twisted his head.
What I like there's a bit where he jumps on Superman.
Yeah,
the ceiling. That's nice.
That's cool.
There's the bit where which you don't think, and I am inclined to agree, where he does the zip and
it's been edited to make it look like Superman's firing at him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case. I think that's.
But the way he moves is very very cool.
That movement, because I think with all the films, Batman sort of moved.
He doesn't move in quite the right way.
Yeah,
he doesn't move in the Batman way.
No, I think what the Nolan films did really well was when he's gliding through the air.
Yeah,
when we watched Dark Knight the other night, I thought actually him gliding around.
And even when
really cool.
When he goes through a window, how the wings come in. And
it's all really that
good.
looks amazing. But yeah, just sort of seeing him there like perched somewhere. Is that sort of movement, that quite liquid movement.
Yeah.
You don't see that unless it's an animation.
And what's funny is when you see Ben Affleck's Batman just sort of stood stationary, it's hard to imagine him doing that movement. One thing we haven't mentioned, obviously we've mentioned that it's all picking up on the criticism that we gave the other film. Obviously Batman, what Batman is seeing, we're basically seeing everything from Batman's perspective in the trailer. Yeah. So we're looking. So he's obviously hugging a little girl that's been.
That's all very sort of post 9/11 sensibilities with this like man running into the wreckage. Sort of thing.
But I mean, I think they do it very well. Again, is the trailer better than the film? That's what we got.
Well, that's another thing we got because Man of Steel was a bit like that.
Man of Steel was certainly because the trailer for Man of Steel was just like holy shit.
Yeah.
It just looks amazing, but obviously the film was a little bit okay. Gal Gadot still little and dainty
not my casting.
Not like who was it that Henry Cavill's ex? What's her name?
In Deadpool.
Yeah. Gina Carrero.
I don't know what her name is.
She looks like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I mean that she could pull that off.
Yeah, she would.
And I mean, obviously she's too old, or she's what they would say is too old. Now I wouldn't personally say she's too old, but someone like Lucy Lawless, would just obviously she played Xena, would look perfect in the role. But obviously
she probably is too old. Lucy Lawless. No.
What?
She probably is too old now. Lucy
really?
Lawless.
How old is she now?
Don't know. She must be.
She's probably in her 50s now.
Yeah.
If she was if she was in her 40s, I could probably deal with that.
Yeah.
But Gal Gadot, I think she was just a very old choice.
I mean, the thing is, I've never seen her in anything properly. The only thing I've ever seen her in is a brief clip when she was cast. I wanted to see what she was in.
The Fast and the Furious.
The Fast and the Furious, and I saw a little clip, and I thought this woman cannot act.
The thing with Zack Snyder is he likes beautiful women. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
And obviously Gal Gadot is considered by the general public to be very beautiful. She's quite little. I want someone who's incredibly tall and incredibly beefy. I want a beefy Amazon gal. That's what I want when I look for Wonder Woman. I want a Wonder Woman that looks like she could rip your head off. And I don't. When I look at Gal Gadot,
you don't quite see it.
I don't see that. Do you see that?
No, I don't see it myself.
There's some cool moments. She climbs the rocks together. That looks good.
Yeah, apparently that's one of the books. The force field thing. George Perez did it back in the 80s.
That's cool. But I mean, there's not a great deal of Wonder Woman yet, is there?
No, we haven't really seen much. We've seen her more as Diana Prince than we have.
Yeah, you see the cover getting into the car and stuff.
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
The first thing that came to mind when I saw him was Crispin Glover.
Oh yeah, because you said
he just sounds exactly like him. He sounds like he's and he got the hair as well. I honestly reckon they modelled him after Crispin Glover. I really genuinely feel like that.
Yeah. Again, I'm not really sure what to make of him yet because it's just so little.
The red teeth are coming.
Yeah, all that doesn't strike me as the Lex Luthor that I thought they were going to go for. I thought they were going to go. I'm not
sure. I don't dislike it. Yeah. I'm not at the moment. I'm not looking at that and going, I hate that.
Yeah,
I need to see more.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, he's already said, what is his name, Jesse Eisenberg, he's already said, it's not going to be like Gene Hackman or Kevin Spacey or anything like that, and like uber camp. But then, with that red cape,
there's still a bit of
that made me think of Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey.
I was going to say, when he does that, it strikes me as Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I just hope if he's going to do it like that, he needs to be slimy, not camp.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the problem. And I hope he comes across as slimy rather than camp. If he's going to do it like that, I would rather him be slimy than campy.
And of course we see him with the kryptonite, so that's obviously going to play a part in it. We also see him with General Zod's dead body, which I'm guessing will also play a part in it. Mercy Graves is the Asian actress. Don't know if you see her walking down the thing.
She's quite petite as well.
She's quite petite.
What does Zack Snyder have against like
bigger
girls?
Yeah,
it's not like even bigger, like just beefier.
Yeah,
girls.
muscular. Because Mercy Graves is she was petite in the cartoon, but they were somewhat stern and she was a fighter.
She looks like she could be snapped in half.
I mean, maybe she'll be like amazing ninja.
Oh yeah,
warrior.
that's not to say that there's anything wrong with thin women.
No,
but they seem to all be, and I want to see I want to see a beefier gal because that's what a lot of them are going to be like.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Also, we should note the suits.
I was going to say that
you let your family die.
Yeah, so lots of Joker references.
Sort of.
Robin's suit, which is exciting to say that there was a Robin in this universe, so more than likely Jason Todd getting
There's a little bit
killed.
we can talk about with Jason Todd and the Joker and
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that
in the Suicide Squad trailer.
In the Suicide Squad trailer, which we'll move on to in a moment.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that they are going to address Robin. Well, another thing we never mentioned with Lex Luthor is that in the trailer he's got his long ginger hair like in the comics. But
do we think it's the kryptonite?
Yeah, I reckon that's probably what it is. So
because he has the kryptonite, we know he's got the kryptonite. So we were sort of saying, do we think it's cancer? But
there probably will be something to do with the radiation from the kryptonite, like in the comic.
It's probably going to be that.
So it was interesting because they showed the first publicity image we saw of him was with the bald head.
Yeah, and I really didn't like the way he looked. Yeah. Like, I really hated it. You didn't mind.
I thought he looked alright bald.
I literally, it is just...
Jesse Eisenberg.
It's just the Social Network bald. That's Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, that looks amazing. That's out March 23rd next year, I think. Just before my birthday.
Sure, so we'll be seeing that for his birthday.
So last but not least, Suicide Squad.
Which they are definitely going to have the most disagreements with us, I think. There's a lot.
There's
a lot that people have varying opinions on, I think.
Yeah.
Within this trailer. I don't really know where to start because there's so much to go through.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the lesser known characters? We'll just bash them off. Sort of
I'm going to be honest because I'm not really overly familiar with them myself.
I don't know a great deal about Boomerang.
I know Captain Boomerang.
Boomerang, that's it. I'm not too
I think it's
familiar
just
with
called
them.
Boomerang in this rather than Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Suit looks alright. Blue, like it is in the comics.
I don't know
Okay.
a great deal about him.
And he's got the mutton chops.
Oh, Diablo.
Yeah.
Gather looks alright.
Don't know him from Adam. But he's covered in tattoos like he's in the
we know. I mean, I sort of knew a bit about their background, and then we looked up to see.
I looked up the other day
to see if it was right. So are we led to believe in this when he is possessed by a demon? Is that when he falls asleep, the demon comes out? I don't know if that's.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's what happens in this. Enchantress.
Because there's a couple of El Diablos, hasn't there?
There's a couple of El Diablos. So, Enchantress was also had something like a demon put in her by a shaman or something.
Yeah.
But from what
she's been cursed, I think.
She's been cursed, yes. But what we saw
in the trailer
looked a little bit like. It reminded me of Tomb Raider Legend with the demon in the caves. It looks like she picks up a demon in like spelunking somewhere.
Yeah, she probably finds some artifacts and it possesses her or something. It's going to be something like that.
It's going to be something obvious. And then she's obviously, there's a bit where she's sat in that grave with the... I'm really interested to know what that's all about. I feel very sorry for Cara for having to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't like the way she looks after all that's got happened, because obviously she's not in the trailer, but in the stills.
Yeah, and you do see her briefly in the trailer.
Do you?
It's very quick.
I mean, I thought she looks god awful. I'm afraid. Yeah, I really don't like the way she looks.
I guess they just went for the sort of voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo lady.
Voodoo lady.
Voodoo lady.
I've not really got an awful
lot to say about
her. Who else have we not mentioned? There's Rick Flag, who just looks like a generic bloke.
Person.
Yeah, there's probably, I think there's someone else who's in it as well that we haven't mentioned, but I don't know who he is.
Of course, we've got, if we stray away from the Suicide Squad, we've also got Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller, yeah.
Who's fair enough. She's fine.
She seems quite good.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of it.
Part. I like the tone of the film.
Yeah, the tone's set up really well. And I actually think her character set up quite well.
He
looks fantastic.
Really good.
It's sad that we probably won't see him in costume a lot.
Yeah.
With
the mask.
With
the
mask
mask
on. But the mask, he looks brilliant in costume. He basically looks exactly the way the character should look.
pretty much.
All right, here we go. Killer Croc.
Killer Croc looks amazing.
We love Killer Croc.
He looks
we think
incredible.
he looks fantastic. The
makeup's
everything about him was just wonderful. And we just talked about where you mentioned the way he moves. How he moves almost sort of.
Yeah, he's got like a sort of serpentine,
sort of a
lizard-like.
Quality to him. But
don't know how they're going to explain how he looks like that.
Yeah, we don't know how that's going to be.
I'm not sure. He's got a bit of a funny skin condition. It's really going to
cut it
off.
I mean, I guess if we're going for she finds an amulet in a cave or whatever, and she gets possessed by a demon, we can probably figure out something for Killer Croc.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, he just looks wonderful. We love him. We thought he was great from the off.
Katana.
Katana.
She looks really good.
Really good, yeah.
Don't really see much of her in the trailer.
I don't know a great deal about Katana anyway, but I know what she looks like, and I know that she looks great.
Yeah, the mask is perfect.
She's obviously got some kind of inner turmoil going on with her sword.
Yeah, she's stabbed herself.
It looks like she's doing the. I can't remember. There's the
thing. I can't remember what we call it. Well, whatever.
Yeah, it does look a bit like that, but I think she is doing it behind her.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though. Otherwise, we've just they've given away a character death.
Dies. Harley Quinn. Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm sort of under the impression. I mean, you have been bouncing back and forth because at first you didn't like it when you saw the pictures, then it grew on you, and then you saw the trailer, and then you didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now from the start, I thought she looked like she's been banging 7 gram rocks. She honestly looks like she has got hepatitis from a tattoo needle. She looks awful.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I mean, there's something charming about it, and you can tell they've pulled it from the New 52 and a little bit of everything, but some people really love it.
Yeah,
some people absolutely love the way she looks. I mean, you hate the tattoos. I could deal with 1 or 2. That wouldn't bother me because of the style that they're going for. A couple of tattoos wouldn't have bothered me, but they doesn't seem in character for her to get that many. I don't know. I just I don't like we don't like the scene in the.
Don't like that scene in the prison where she's hanging upside down with a.
I mean,
wiggling around or whatever.
It's just her hair's out. I don't like that she's got the really long, lank hair anyway.
Yeah, she just looks.
I don't look at her and think Harley.
Because Harley's meant to be quite a fun.
And she's supposed to. Also, the point is, she's supposed to have. I know this is a really picky thing. She's supposed to have bleached hair. And if she was in prison, she would have roots. I know that is a really picky thing, but I really want her to just have roots, then get out and then just dye it all, which she obviously does because she dyes the ends of it.
Yeah,
But that's obviously not to
That's the 52 thing. I mean, the games do really.
Yeah,
they dye the hair rather than give it the proper hat.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many other directions they could have gone with that, but there was a quote I saw online that we both read, I think, which was. They have reduced one of DC's greatest female villains to jerk-off material.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it feels like. Obviously, there's a bit where she's dancing on the pole.
The pole, yeah. I think that's... From what I've seen, the people who like it are usually men who like it because she's not wearing much.
Yeah. I mean, I quite like the makeup. I think that when we like the but we're not really sure about her voice.
I can't get my head around.
Hope you got insurance.
Yeah,
it's not.
It doesn't really sound like Harley Quinn.
No.
Yeah,
it's a bit low and.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like.
There was a leaked clip. There was a leaked clip online of her and the Joker having a kind of confrontation. She put the gun to his head and she goes, "Get out of the car!" And when I heard that, I thought, she's probably going to sound okay. Yeah. And if I'd only heard the
you might have thought.
Okay, but then we had that one line in the.
Yeah, I mean, when we see another.
It might be different. Might be completely different, but from what we've seen so far, we've not really enjoyed that.
And all there is left really to talk about is the Joker.
Yes, and then we'll round off by talking about what happened in the trailer.
I didn't like the look when it was announced.
I mean,
like the tattoos.
There's things that we can.
The grills.
I was gonna say there's things that if you took it away from him, he'd look like the perfect Joker.
Yeah.
If you got rid of the grills and you got rid of the tattoos. Now, Matt has come up with an interesting theory about him sort of like running a club and being in the kind of gangster sphere.
Yeah, I thought that perhaps because we see Harley doing the pole dancing and that it's been, I guess, 20 years, he's been fighting Batman and Batman retires. Yeah. This is all from because Batman is in the film.
Yeah, it's probably be a bit less than 20 years because he's been fighting him since he was like 9.
Well, Batman's been active for 20 years. That's what Zack Snyder's said. So if Batman's been active for 20 years, he's been fighting Joker.
Sort of as soon as he's, his whole career.
Batman retires, and I thought perhaps maybe they're going for, like, with the Penguin running the Iceberg Lounge, the Iceberg Casino.
He's just become a bit of an underground mob boss.
Yeah, he's gone a bit like that, and that's what.
Yeah.
That's what's all the tattoos and the grills and all the shit stuff.
If that was the case, and also something to do with Batman breaking his teeth.
Yeah, there's a thing about Batman breaking his teeth, perhaps.
If that was the case, I could have coped with the tattoos, and I could have coped with the grills, but it's the metatextual tattoos that I don't like. The ha ha ha, and there's a brilliant video online in which could I get like ha ha and like a Joker mouth because I'm like could I get damage because I'm like so damaged.
I'm so messed up, I think you really get me. My mom is gonna freak.
That was really good. Yeah. I mean, regardless of how metatextual and crap the tattoos are, that damage
that's shit.
That's just not in character.
It's just
Look how damaged I am.
Yeah, it's like.
How can you see? You can't picture the Joker going into.
That's the thing.
And
I can't see.
And going, hi.
Yeah.
Can I get damage on my head?
It's like. I just can't get my head around.
Unless he sits there pissed out of his face doing it himself. I can't really.
Yeah.
And can I have it done in like really nice cursive?
So I can't get my head around the look of the Joker. There have been some really good Photoshop jobs online where they've just taken all the tattoos off, and he looks fine. He looks like he does in Batman Rest in Peace, or Batman R.I.P.
I mean, he does look. He looks frightening as well. He does look scary.
Oh yeah, he does look frightening,
which is good.
And I think he acts it well.
I was going to say, with regards to the portrayal, I don't mind him at all. I'm watching it. And you kind of pieced it together. A little bits I didn't pick up on from the trailer, because I mentioned to you, it looks like he's shocking Harley.
Yeah.
When he says, I'm going to hurt you really bad. And it was only until I watched it back that I saw the bits that Matt was talking about that he could piece together. So he's very obviously giving Harleen Quinzel back before she went mad. So there might be elements of Mad Love-ish of him driving her insane.
And there's been...
I know, obviously he looks awful, but from what I can see, they're going for sexy Joker. They're going for 16-year-old emo girls on Tumblr writing lots of fan fiction, and that is exactly
that's happened,
already been happening. And I said it to Matt, and we went on Tumblr and we looked it up, and I went, called it. Because obviously he's so big and beefy, and he's got all the muscles, but then, he's quite young still, and he just immediately to me, I was like, oh great, they're going for sexy Joker, and that's what happened.
So
I mean, if we get this wrong, we're gonna look really stupid, but
I don't think this is.
But we
true.
Lots of theories about the Joker being Jason Todd, and I saw someone put online, but it's got the J there. It's like he's saying, look, Batman, I am still Jason. Look. It's like, no.
It's J for Joker. This is someone who's got a jester mask and his own lips tattooed on himself, and possibly Joker across
the head. Because I put it there, didn't I? I thought it looks like he's got Joker, but we could be wrong.
If that is true, it's just like.
But someone also said, "Oh look, it looks like he's got a robin on his arm." Is that because he's like a robin? And it's like, oh, I've died. It's like, no, he's got a robin on his arm.
Yeah, and he's like a decayed skeletal robin.
But it's probably because he's killed Robin.
Yeah, and he's like, look at that.
That's what gangster people do. They get the teardrops and they get the look what I've done. Yeah. Someone like the Joker is not going to be like, because I'm dying. And you put it on.
It's to show. It's
like, look, Batman,
look. Yeah. So I'm very intrigued to see how the crossover between Batman vs Superman and this.
Not only that,
works.
we established we don't really know what's happening in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
from the trailer,
know what the plot
can't really
doing.
tell what's happening.
No, all we know is that Amanda Waller gets Task Force X. And they go off on a suicide mission, and the Joker's in it. and Batman pops up for a bit. Yeah, so that's pretty about it.
This is going to be a much longer video than we intended.
Yeah, there's also X-Men Apocalypse coming out as well next year. The trailer for that leaked. It was only very short. That looked alright from what we could see. So thank you for watching. And enjoy the films. Enjoy the trailers.
And if you disagree with us, don't carry it with you. Don't carry the rage and anger with you, because it's not a good way to live your life. Don't get too worked up and leave aggressive comments that we will carry with us and hurt our hearts. So don't do that, because it's a bad thing to do.
Okay.
But by all means, have your opinions.
Okay, well, thank you watching, and we'll see you again soon.
We're going to go to bed now because
Yeah.
it's late.
Bye.